It really is, and I love the way that you kind of set this up. We're going to scoop by your first comments, of course, but when you look at Winthrop University and Envy, this is such a fun matchup. In my opinion, these are really two titans of challengers. Winthrop University has been that team that has just grown massively and become one of the scariest teams in challengers, whereas Envy, you know, they're extremely good, undefeated throughout all of regulation, but then, of course, when it reached that playoffs the first time around, unfortunately didn't quite make it that far. Maybe getting the branding curse that kind of happens here. So the fact that we're finally seeing this now, I imagine this is going to be explosive.
Move's going to back away on this opening entry from Envy, who are starting this out on the attack. And they will just blindly fire their way through. Cainzera immediately going to get started and get that first blood traded away by Moves. But the back line, heavily populated from Winthrop University. They'll initiate early and Moves stepping on for another. Now the rest of Winthrop storms through. Ion holding the top swing, so it's just down to the two below. And Ollie is not checking Ion at first. The other is taken care of. Down to Ollie versus Inspire. Steps out of the smoke and Inspire takes the victory. First round goes Envy's way.
And it already is extremely explosive coming in for both of these teams here. Of course, you know, we got the desk to highlight a little while ago how good Ion was as a player, but on the other side of Winthrop University, one of the players who I always keep my eye on is going to be Moves. I think that Moves has just been fantastic. This guy knows how to frag out and take some of that space, especially too when you go deep onto the lurks. I imagine especially on this defense, it might not be as lurky as we can expect, but that is going to be a player you want to watch for, especially navigating around the minimap. So, Envy, they do get the first round here. And now it's going to be heavy pressure out onto this A site. But of course, Inspire starting us off with a pick.
Cainzera just going to walk forward with the shield. Absolutely fearless against these pistols. He'll W key as long as every other member of Envy is still standing. But Ali will put that to an end. Swinging with this Sheriff, searching for another. We'll get Ion as the spike gets planted. And Moves is holding a Sheriff as well for this backstab. Turning this potentially their way. Inspire's head caught in the pocket. Exeter swinging out on top of the door, putting some pressure on both fronts. Ollie able to set up the smoke now to deter at least one member of that, so Moves can walk up a little bit farther, and this pinch can get executed one more time. Inspire's camera is going to re-clear the orb spot, and with Ollie dealt with, Envy have no fear picking off the remainder. A little bit antsy, but Envy get it done.
Yeah, a little bit antsy, but exactly like you said, the deed is done. You're able to carry through the good weaponry into this next one. And yeah, we're seeing Envy go tit for tat. They're going to be buying up completely to match things out. Cainzera has that Odin in hand already. But once again, this is what we expect to see from this Envy squad. Originally, the rankers, these guys just love to run things down and rely purely on their game mechanics to be able to win out some of these gun duels. And especially, too, with this double duelist, you know they're leaning heavily into that style. Winthrop University, going once again, focusing in on Ali going for the Clove. To me, that says that they're also expecting to go for a little bit more of a brawly style. Try to go for a more attack-orientated thing and kind of meet Envy exactly where they want to be.
Yeah, Moves has had no trouble facing these issues head on already. Ali as well, and these two defenders on site deal a hell of a lot of the damage. The Cainzera has already picked up that Odin and is trying to save face for Envy, and will do a lot of damage along with it. Inspire relay bolted by Infiltrator, who hasn't gotten to get super active so far this game, but will do so, and Nasi can shut down Kane on the other end, so Winthrop can hold down the bonus.
Yeah, great job from Winthrop, making sure that they can carry things over because, like I said, 3 members of Envy invested on that last round. Sorry, 2 members of Envy invested on that last round. Cainzera especially going for the Odin that time around. So this time only will have a stinger, but the kill contract is active. I don't imagine we're going to be pulling anyone into the gulag if all you got is a stinger in hand. That doesn't seem like a very good time here. But still, it's Winthrop University now starting to get themselves activated, and this is what we like to see from them. It's going to be a spam heavy at the beginning. Inspire taking a little bit of chip damage, but not enough to really drop anybody. While Ali is going to get kill contracted, actually, Cainzera running it down, somehow wins the fight with a stinger in hand.
I mean, that's solely to get the rest of Envy onto site, but the fact that Cainzera wins that is just plain stupid. Rest of Envy will just walk on. Cainzera's like just coming home, by the way. He has not gone in the shooting range. He has not warmed up. He has not done a damn thing to prepare for this, and he's already fragging out for Envy's sake. Nasi has been holding on to that Odin since the dawn of time. coming from a tree all the way over here in the 1v5, and I think he's going to hold on to this Odin a little bit longer.
At this point, I imagine it's just they're waiting to see if Nasi gives any information up. Of course, they've got him boxed in here, so not too much to happen. Egster going for a quick little peek. It's going to be the haunt out, but everybody stands still.
Ion will meet him early. And Envy will have 5 members standing here in round 4, already setting themselves up to take this attack by storm. And already you're starting to see what Envy's game plan is. It should be relatively similar to Winthrop University's to enable these absolutely insane duelists who have been hellish so far on this map across the split. Kainzera's average across the 4 times that Envy has played on this map is 21 kills. Infiltrators across the 5 times that Winthrop has played on this map is 21.6. Both of these duelists have been fragging out every single time they've come here. An Infiltrator, who has been lagging a little bit behind so far, doesn't want to stop now, but neither does Kane. Envy death balls up to the courtyard towards A site, where only one defender lays standing at the moment.
It's just going to be moves, Sheriff in hand. Understands that the attack is going to be coming here. Standing still throughout all of this, but now just has to wait for the team to back up. Potentially play contacts as Kainzera is looking to get active.
Some peeks from Drop, as always. Finds some purchase, but no actual hits, just some space gain. Kane's going to dip into the kitty, and Infiltrator will come up scratching. Moves, the first on the drop swing, but Poppin and Egster are able to handle both of those. And the gun diff is only going Infiltrator's way. Nasi now with that double tap on the Sheriff is giving him a man advantage once again, though. Inspire alone on the Phantom and having to duck back. Nasi also has this ultimate in the tank. Owl drone to boot too. Ollie with the smoke to support. And Nasi will force Inspire to spray this as Ollie creeps up. It's just going to hold the spike down. Inspire, the spray through works out, but Ollie's shot is good. And Winthrop University will escape with a huge thrifty round here on the defense.
Yeah, a great round to kind of bring Winthrop back into things. And it's so funny because Ali originally started out as the coach for Winthrop University, I believe, when Challengers started here. And then they needed a sub. Okay, Ali, you know, a bit of game experience, if you know the history here, steps in as that substitute. And then suddenly Winthrop University, they start clicking together. And Ali goes from being the coach to a sub to an active player on this roster, making a lot of these plays and having a huge amount of impact for Winthrop University. And I mean, hey, if you got someone who's shooting that well, you got to keep him on the team. Ali currently sitting at 6 kills, the top for Winthrop University, and now holding forwards as well, taking down Kainzera and Ion. Why not? It's already looking really good for this Clove.
He knows exactly how to handle this kind of push. He's seen it a million times before from Envy already. For the rest of Envy, we're going to try and make this push work. Seize on the early entry. That'll catch both, but Ali can just keep holding down the spray. That's 3 kills now for this Clove. That has let him stay active, but still provide these huge supporting smokes on top of what Flare is already offering to the conversation. Winthrop now has this spike stranded and can keep tossing Util into the fray to keep it puppy guarded. As for the remaining 60 seconds, 2 last members of Envy do have a lot of map to work with, but not too many players. Egster hitting that door just to keep them second guessing, but the Recon Bolt will reconfirm his position. It's down to Inspire to get the drop on them. And it looks like it'll just have to come through this continuously cycled singular smoke that Winthrop has to upkeep. Double swing, and it's only one that they'll get. Infiltrator farms 2 kills, and Winthrop has tied us back up.
And once again, we're seeing a couple of gaps on where this Envy composition might be lacking. Specifically, they rely a lot on the duelists to be able to go in there and just to find kills, win their battles, and if not, be a trade target for it. And look what happens when that starts to fall apart. Ali able to find 2, immediately just kind of thriffles their plan. And then it's just so much more difficult for them to make anything happen. They don't really have any flashes or blinds, only Ion's paranoia if they really want to push into these sites. And so if Winthrop University continue to position themselves in these ways that kind of confuse Envy, not giving up the space that they assume that they can just kind of take by brute forcing their way in, then it gets a lot more difficult for Envy to be able to make their way onto site.
Winthrop playing for every contingency, waiting out this decoy, will hand away the opening half of the site, and that means Kainzera is going to try and take the back half of it too, but Winthrop shut that down, and there's no follow-up. He's too far extended. Inspire will find the lurk pick, but has to do a lot more, and there's more than enough resources to deal with him. Poppin now alone very quickly into this round, has the Stinger, picks up the Vandal after the opening kill on a crumb of health though, and that'll be all she wrote. So Winthrop will take the lead now on the defense after Envy continued to just go 0 to 100, really just try to put the foot to the floor, and it's not working just yet.
Yeah, and I love the way that Winthrop University are playing off of each other. Like, sure, you see the Hunter's Fury go out there fairly early on, but Nasi does an excellent job playing off the information that was given to make sure that that gets so much value. And yeah, at this point, if you're Envy, you got to take that timeout, because the only strategy of just we're going to run in there and find some kills has not been really working out for this squad. They're coming into this next round. They should be able to buy up just enough weaponry as well as shields. And on top of that too, they've got Extra with the Dimensional Drift, who can be an excellent scout to just run in, scout things out, make it a lot easier for your individual members to frag things out. But Winthrop University, like, they look like such an elite squad, and we're just getting this game started going up against Envy, one of the most flawless teams that we've seen in Challengers, and they're showing no signs of slowing down at all.
Yeah, the playoffs was where Envy faltered previously. Could be where they do it again here after this new threat is establishing itself. Winthrop really has come up against every demon in the playoffs except this one so far. Crazy to see. This is their first ever matchup against each other here in Challengers. But Winthrop have been intercepting it very well. This new Clove pick from Ali, however instinctive it ended up being, it is working so well thus far, especially when Winthrop is able to play from advantage. And with Envy going for the obvious a lot of the time, just trying to diff off of raw mechanics, and Winthrop besting that more often than not so far, they find advantage pretty damn often.
Right, here comes the Dimensional Drift once again. But like, look at this. Like, they have to clear everything outside of A here, and Ali able to find 2 kills. That is unbelievable. I don't necessarily think that was a collat, but it might as well have been. Both of those outlaw shots finding purchase. Extra with the shotgun, though, moving up.
Knows the Salvo drone is close, and no one else has their gun out. Infiltrator has to op shot to save the remainder of the returning Winthrop, and they can hold on to this round. Extra string from Ion to try to grab anything back. Can't find a kill. Inspire and Dink, but no kill for him either. And Winthrop will execute a sweeping clear of A site rather than Envy. It's 5-3.
Winthrop University are looking really good. They're starting to gain that momentum. And honestly, like, the fact that we saw Ali get so much value with that outlaw right as the round started, right as Envy were trying to move in, that's not how you want things to go. It's so difficult right now for Envy to be able to move things up. You see the wall kind of fly in from Cainzera to try and buy some space, you know, mitigate some of that gunfire there. Oh, look at that shot. That's unbelievable.
Is that a headshot?
Mid-air finds Poppin. What a flick. But yeah, like, once again, it's so difficult for them to even get anywhere close to the site. But at that point too, like, you've already used up so much of your utility to gain the space just to move up a little bit. They still need a little bit more in order to actually get on and get that spike down, something that Envy just simply does not have when it comes to some of these early engagements. Winthrop University are doing a great job at just zoning Envy out of every single site.
They've already done a great job of kind of snuffing out the flame that Inspire's trying to light here on the rubble lurk. Can creep up Root just a little bit, but signals that he needs a little more help to control what should be the attacker heavy space. Nasi gonna go ahead and contribute to the Owl drone to make sure that there's more shots there, and that's a signal for Envy to go, go, go. TP ults in to guarantee Nasi's pick, and Nightfall will get tossed into this as well. Envy full send onto the A site yet again. Clone on top of the TP. Infiltrator misses the op shot, but has room to duck back and try again for this retake as Envy will try to spread thin. Huge haunt that gives Poppin an easy opener across the drop. But Infiltrator has dropped himself, and on top of the recon bolt, he's got a lot of space that is easily cleared for him to walk into with this operator. Moves in Nasi from on high as well, and Infiltrator can go crazy with the overdrive to finalize. Inspire, yet again, the only one remaining, and he's way too far to be able to do anything in time, much less get more than 1 kill on the board. Winthrop University continue to have more than enough to deal with this problem.
It's so fun watching these two styles go up against each other. Envy so aggressive, just assuming that they were going to be able to find the kill, taking those opportunities, relying on their aim to be able to shut it down. Winthrop University, on the other hand, patient, calm, and collected. When they decide to move back in onto this retake, they do so extremely decisively. It felt extremely coordinated just playing off the neon space, but they're checking all of their individual spaces. It feels so well thought out and planned on that retake. And once again, it's getting a little bit tougher for Envy to be able to pull things through. Of course, this is Winthrop University's map pick. There's still 3 more rounds left here. Ali going deep. Ali takes Kane down.
Tries to go for the Primi hold here on Mound and will ultimate even to contribute. But Exeter already diving in with the CP on the Stinger is able to get him at close range again. So Envy have this C site, at least a decent chunk of it. But no Kanzera to walk it down with, so they'll play for what they can get. Pop in, dodge into sprays, Infiltrator. Oh, no, he doesn't. Flare will find him.
I know exactly.
Full-fledged 4v3, make it a 4v2 as Moves finds Ion. And Winthrop can spray through smokes too.
Go.
Neural Theft attempts to give some more leeway, but Winthrop University still comes storming. Inspire, yet again the last one remaining, having to clutch it up. Decent job so far. Cam to re-clear, but Spike's held and so is Inspire. Tech on 7 for Winthrop here on the defense, unstoppable.
Wow, a good move from Nasi there. I have to admit, just goes for the duck around. Okay, Inspire not going to be expecting a third. Catches a perfect timing, able to tuck away nice and clean. But even when you just look at the amount of pressure that Winthrop University are exuding on top of Envy, you understand why this is so difficult. Sure, they get the spike down, but what cost? It's so difficult for them to do so, and then they're not able to set up their post plans. Winthrop University are making sure to keep them in check and keep them accountable every single round. And that's why it's been so difficult for Envy to find these chance moments. Look at that, Inspire, the one who's been carrying the team right now, goes down with a little bit of a whimper through a smoke.
And that's the kind of thing that you would often see Envy go for in LOD. Just spraying through the smoke the second that camera goes up. Such terrific game sets coming from Winthrop. Kanzera, his extension is good. And he'll hold back. It's Exeter's turn to be that long arm of the law. But Moves has been a tough one to meet so far, and the gun advantage is still permeating. Envy still holding stoic. Winthrop waiting for the exec through these smokes. Moves, makes his move, and wins the duel. A lot more pressure on Waterfall now as Ollie walking up with this outlaw by himself. Popping active. Ollie better! And he'll find a free rifle out of this. Winthrop can waltz back onto site and make easy work of the remaining 2. This is just looking so abrasively clean from Winthrop thus far.
Man, like, I almost imagine there's, like, verbal high fives that are going on in Winthrop
For sure,
University's calls.
everyone's fist bumping from beyond the ping.
Yeah, but I'm sure that they're all literally fist bumping at like the same momentum, the same speed, at the exact same time, because that's how some of these retakes are going. Sure, there's a couple of timings there. You see them all get set up outside of the site, and then it's like 3, 2, 1, execute. And then they look like a SWAT squad just walking in onto the site, clearing all of the individual angles, making sure everything gets held. It's so good coming in from Winthrop. I am extremely impressed with how they've been playing this Lotus defense. Once again, just on the defense. Like, it's so coordinated, and they're getting away with so much.
Ollie is going to dodge the kill contract after ducking back. But Kane still has that ult, or that shield going, and will use it to deal with Ollie's hold on that outlaw. Nasi proactive on this Hunter's Fury and does get the tag, forces a second CP out. Moves. Pressured on this cage as Envy have a loud entry onto the site this time. Moves still finds the kill onto Exeter. They're all set to confirm the positions, and so the Nightfall comes in early. Moves does not care. He kills Ion too. Kanzera finally puts a stop to the rampage, but the creeps from Waterfall and the spawn are too good. Kanzera versus the world on 8 HP. Goods peek onto Infiltrator, who will tap the spike. Pressure on for this Ion. Oh, this ISO, excuse me. Ion was already dead. I got too excited, but Winthrop's got 9.
There's a lot to get excited about. A 9-3 half from Winthrop University. And every single time you look at how they play their, like, retakes, on that C site, it looks textbook. It feels so cleaned up, so well coordinated. They know exactly where they're going. You know 2 people are going to be coming in from Mound. You know someone's going to be coming in from Waterfall. You know 2 people are going to be coming in from their spawn. And they just swarm around. Envy are chasing kills. They're looking for those opportunities. And because of the level of coordination that Winthrop are doing, there's no real opportunity for them to capitalize on some of that Envy magic that we've seen previously, where they can just somehow come up with massive multi-kills going into it. And I really do just have to think, like, it to me comes down to just the level of teamwork and honestly just positioning that Winthrop University have been taking advantage of. So at this point, you know what? This is still Winthrop's map. Maybe if you're a Curse believer, you know how this one could go, but still, we're swapping sides now. Winthrop University on the attack here as Envy are going to defend. Infiltrator going in deep very early and at least is able to gain that space.
An Infiltrator has been much better in these past few rounds, especially at initiating the execs, but an Envy get to start the fight. They get to finish it more often than not. Spike stranded on the mound as Smokes are choked up to give Envy some space, and Kane's Era is going to work with it pretty damn well. 3 kills for that ISO here in the pistol.
Boobs left alone. The Spike dropped in such an uncomfortable position. At least Kane's Era should no longer have a shield. Going to be headshot, headshot, and headshot if Moobs wants to win, but the camera will give the positioning away at bare minimum. So this turns into a hard situation and makes it an even worse one. Moobs still going to try an honest run though, because it is just pistol.
If fully confirmed. It's retagged, in fact. Moobs has got to get rid of this dang camera. Oh, Inspire's walked in. He'll get punished. No more cam. No more wire. No more problem peeking into this. High-low, a little bit awkward. Moobs can take advantage of that. Extra holds on. Way too close for comfort. But Envy make it work.
And you know what? I did tell people, hey, keep your eye on Moobs. Moobs is pretty good. And especially now that we're seeing this attacking side, I imagine that will be a little bit more of a present thing as these rounds continue to move forwards here. It was a little bit of a fisticuff outside here on Mound. Kane's Era, thankfully, because of that shield, able to stay alive in the midst of all of it and find a couple of necessary kills. But once again, just the precision that Moobs moved with made it a definite winnable scenario. Envy, though, still have quite a bit to do if they want to take back this map. We'll have the weapon advantage moving in on this side. Winthrop University, only 3 sheriffs in their hands. Kane's Era on the other side of Pop and watching for it. Ali already down.
Oh, Kane's just walking in with the shield. Yeah.
Last player standing.
Still unabashedly themselves. And they'll use it to take this round in spades. Moobs is still alive, though, so anything is possible, really. This guy just always has something else to say. Inspire will shut it down, though, as he did the rest of the C push. And so Envy make it 5. Is it going to be the defensive half where we see them light up? Is this, was the first 12 rounds Kane's Era's shooting range?
You know, had to do a warm-up somehow, right? What better place, you know, hit the ground running, on the job, learning experience, all that type of stuff. Kane's Era is really starting to heat up now, but also, too, I think these holds that we've seen from Envy are just kind of good. Like, they're just holding it. They've got the better weaponry. Know they can play some of the longer angles. Make sure that no shenanigans can really happen from Winthrop. You see that they were holding forwards in all these different angles to make sure that they don't give up any space for free. An Infiltrator getting marked very early on does dodge the paranoia, but can't mitigate the pressure.
Yeah, there's just so much of it. Ion and Kane and Poppin just gunning it down. Oh. Get a little too greedy, though, into the lobby. At least they have the spike. But they only have a 3v2 now. Ollie is low, though. Just don't hand a kill over and should be okay. Gonna have to be a dry peek here, so you can keep on cycling those smokes if you're Envy. Now moves, you cannot. Oh, you can! Oh, hey! Look at that!
I'll find you.
All right, well, Envy will have to push it now. Ooh. Or just spray it. Yeah, they're so low. Prowler will spot moves as a smoke fades. What? I'm telling you, if he's still standing, the impossible can happen.
Oh,
a 4-piece in the blink of an eye. I think I literally blinked and then I missed it. I didn't see that.
Unbelievable. Thank goodness we got replays. Shoots there, takes off one, but then Ion and Eggster both walk into the crosshair. Sure, you would argue that Eggster was the one who really was the first person moving forwards, who could have seen that one coming, but Ion too just walks into the spray down, and it's that pre-fire that just kills everybody. So a very important round for Winthrop University. Envy have to be shaking their heads a little bit here. The kill contract gets activated. Nobody is caught, and Inspire under a lot of pressure right now. Only has a shorty in hand.
Super close quarters. First swing out from Inspire, eventually good, but Nasi can turn onto it a little too early and finds Eggster immediately after, for that matter. Winthrop, staunch clearing of the C site that Cainzera is still standing on. Will push in with the wall as well, just to regain that river space with the help of Poppin. They want to fight this now, and Winthrop knows it. Ollie better than anybody. Go for another! And these Winthrop members are just so lit up at the moment. Ion in the 1v3. Spike still attempting to get planted, and it will with the help of Ali. Getting a third kill this round. Explosive from Winthrop.
And I'm so curious to see what Ali's stats are going to be in the end of this game. Sure, Boobs right now is technically at the... Oh, never mind. Hey, look, it just updated. Ali right now is top. I imagine that also, too, has to do something with, like, the ACS score going on here, because technically they are both tied with 19 kills apiece. I know I said shorty, but Inspire did have a rifle in hand. Winthrop University do a good job at just making sure that everything stays honest. They're ready to play off of those trades. Envy are not walking away with multi-kills. And if you watched any of the previous matches, Envy very heavily rely on individuals just kind of fragging out of their minds.
And it won't be extra this time around. Poppin trying to open the baby door to go for the double swing. Again, Envy trying to find moments where they can get these jumps. And Winthrop able to slow down that tempo way earlier than Envy would like. Flare locked out of the frat party a little bit longer, but he may not want to join it with Infiltrator getting so much pressure on him. In fact, yeah, the rest of Winthrop are going to choose to back out momentarily here. With the baby door broken, they see an opportunity that Envy is not peeking on. In fact, they've smoked it off. Creeping the B, and it's on Cainzera to pick this up with the classic!
What? Oh, that's not good.
Winthrop's got to nip this in the bud. Ali deals with both! That's a way to do it! Who is this guy? He was coaching? Give it to him.
Oh, looking for the ace.
Spectacular. Give me 14 more.
Look at Ali's face. He's not even smiling or anything. Just like, yep, another day in the student office. Once again, I was saying how they were tied for kills, but then after that last round, suddenly Ali up at 24. And yes, originally starting out as the coach on Winthrop University back in January, and then had to make a substitute in, and just was kind of cracked. And yeah, I remember even back then, when Ali joined in, sure, Winthrop University were really, you know, figuring out their steps, figuring out how the synergy was going to work. But right now, it's firing on all cylinders in a very pivotal match. Eggster, though, shuts down 2 right off the bat.
Fight rages on, though, and as it dissipates, Eggster's left alone, and Poppin tries to swing back into it. Again, the personnel advantage is still Winthrop's here in the field. And Moves making sure that no one creeps up. So we're once again walled out. Cainzera has yet to get less than 18 kills on a singular map this split. If Winthrop win this here, that will change.
Give me a... Where is everyone hiding?
Boobs with that neural theft, confirming the crunch. It's got to be here and now. Envy go for it. Cainzera out with the judge. Going for a second now that he's picked up the Phantom. And he'll rectify that 18 kill record immediately. He's up to it, and Envy's up to 6.
Yeah, good stuff there. And honestly, Envy just had such a good way to start that round, finding so many good kills right off the bat, shutting down Ali, shutting down Infiltrator, 2 very key players. And yet still, it comes down to a little bit closer for comfort here. Eggster coming up absolutely clutch. And of course, Cainzera, close range combat. Excellent just paranoia that comes out actually from Ion to make sure that both of those, or one of those players can't see, allow the pickup of the weapon. And it's those little micro plays that we know Envy are going to be good for.
We saw Infiltrator get stopped before with the help of the Haunt, and Poppin is eventually going to do it again, but not before Ion goes down. So no smokes available here for Envy's denial, and so Winthrop
Wow.
will take up this very vulnerable B site because of it, and they will destroy along the way. No one's winning any of their fights, and Extra's bamboozled by the TP out. Now Irish Fury on top of it. Oh man, Winthrop University make it look so damn easy against Envy of all teams. Lotus is theirs by 7 rounds, and in this opening matchup against this new team, Winthrop proved they can continue to tangle.
With overwhelming fury and might, Winthrop University